Hey guys, how's it going? Dudey here. I am back with another video. Today we have a potential massive breakthrough in the Fred and Rose West case. Now, for those of you that don't know, Fred and Rose West tortured, raped and murdered countless women over a 20-year period. Now, to date there are 12 known victims of Fred and Rose West. There may well be more, but one has potentially been found after being missing for 53 years. Now, this is because a dog was recently taken to a site by a documentary team and potentially found evidence of Mary Bastholme's resting place. Mary Bastholme was 15 years old when she went missing. She hasn't been seen alive since January 1968. Now, when she went missing, it's believed that she was wearing a blue jacket. There are scraps of a blue material found in the cellar of this cafe where this dog was taken and gave a positive reaction. Police believe they have enough evidence that they have began their excavation of the cafe site to try and find Mary's body. Her family have been informed and have given their gratitude to the police for their work. Mary was reported missing on January the 6th, 1968, when she was stood waiting for a bus to go and see her boyfriend. Her body was never found. It is theorized that Fred West may have driven past and offered her a lift, and after that took her away and murdered her. Tragically, her parents have since passed away, never finding out what happened to their daughter. Between them, Fred and Rose West killed 12 people between the years of 1967 and 1987, and 7 years after the killing spree allegedly ended, Fred West was arrested in 1994. It's also worthy to note that some of the victims were actually Fred and Rose West's own family. The 12 confirmed victims are Anne McFall, who was the nanny to the children of Fred West and his first wife Rhino. At 18 years old, she went missing in 1967. She was 8 months pregnant at the time, and Fred West was believed to be the father. No one even realised that Anne had been murdered until her remains were found in Gloucester in 1984. Fred denied the murder allegations, but after being arrested actually told visitors that he stabbed her to death after an altercation. Rhino West, Fred's first wife, her murder is believed to have taken place in August of 1971. She was discovered in a field in 1994. Charmaine West, who was Fred's stepdaughter from his first marriage, was also murdered. It's understood she was around 8 years old at the time, but Fred West was actually imprisoned during her death, and so Rose West was convicted of her murder and sent to prison for it in 1995. Carol Ann Cooper, she was just 15 years old when she was murdered, but her body wasn't found until 20 years later. It is believed that she was off visiting her grandmother the day that she went missing. Linda Goff, she was 19 years old when she moved into Fred and Rose West's place as a lodger, and she was murdered in April of 1973. Lucy Partington was a 21-year-old student who came home for Christmas. It is believed that she was snatched from a bus stop in 1973, and her body was found 20 years later in Cromwell Street. Another 15-year-old girl, Shirley Hubbard, abducted from a bus stop in November of 1974. Teresa Siegenthaler, 21-year-old Swiss student, was hitchhiking when she was picked up by the Wests. Her parents reported her missing when they stopped hearing from her. Shirley Robinson, who allegedly had a sexual relationship with Fred and Rose West, and at 18 years old was very heavily pregnant with Fred's daughter when he murdered her in 1978. She was living at Cromwell Street with the Wests for some time before her murder. Juanita Mott was lodging with the Wests. She was abducted in April of 1975 and was not found until 1994, when police searched the address following Fred's arrest. Alison Chambers, she was murdered at the age of 16 and was also found at the Cromwell address. And Heather Ann West, the daughter of Fred and Rose West, who was reported missing in the 80s and was discovered in the back garden of Cromwell Street. Fred West was charged with 12 murders in 1994, but before his death claimed to have killed many, many more. He took his own life cowardly in January of 1995 before he was punished for any of his crimes. His wife Rose was convicted of 10 crimes but still pertains to her own innocence. She was given a life sentence and still remains in prison to this very day. If you would like a more in-depth analysis of the Fred and Rose West killings, then please do let me know down below and hit that like button. But this was all about that update today that they may have found Mary's body. 53 years after she went missing, finally her body may be able to be put to rest and her family will know what happened to her. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. All the relevant links are down below. Thank you so much. I will see you very soon. Sweet one, geese.